WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, often trying and reviewing rare and exotic whiskeys. Yoichi 10-year-old single malt from Nikka Whiskey. So this is Whiskybase number 214439. 10 years of age. We actually have here the first age-stated product from Nikka since 2016. So they stopped releasing any whiskeys 2016 in Japan, and now they started again with this. This was also actually released. There was a 2023 release, and that was to commemorate the fact that here the Yoichi distillery has been designated as an important cultural property of Japan, and also marks a return to traditional age statements, the first in several years here. And the Nikka Whiskey Globe Marketing and Sales General Manager says, "We are honored for the Yoichi distillery to receive this distinction or designation from Japan's Agency for Cultural Affairs." All right, so, and this designation will help ensure that we will pass on the history of Japanese whiskey to future generations. To celebrate this special honor, we welcome the return of Nikka Whiskey age statements and release the Yoichi single malt 10-year-old, a new expression created by the current blenders. So what am I going to compare it to? Of course, I'm going to take my Yoichi no age statement and compare it to this. Both of these are 45% alcohol. Now, this cost me about 138 euros. This cost me about 70 euros, 68, I think. So I can literally get two of these, the no age statements, for one of the 10-year-old. Now, Japanese whiskeys are inherently more expensive than Scotch, inherently more expensive than bourbons, inherently more expensive than Irish whiskey. Now, they're often on par for German whiskeys. If I take a 10-year-old German whiskey and compare it price per price, we're going to be about at the same area here, because it's just so rare. It's just so exotic. It's just so unusual to have a 10-year-old single malt from Germany or even now Japan. So my question of the day is, you can already start writing down, what age statement Japanese whiskeys do you remember? I still have a sample from Hibiki Harmony, 17-year-old. I'm going to drink it one day. I'm going to probably wait to get the next Hibiki Harmony 17-year-old, which is going to be 15 years from now. At least my gut feeling says it's going to take a while for them to be able to ramp up those age statements in Japan, but hey, why not? All right, the no age statement versus the 10-year-old. Color is basically the same. By the way, nowhere does it say natural color. By the way, nowhere does it say non-chilled filtered. All right, you can see a difference in the white versus the beige colors here. No age statement. So on the back, I do have some interesting tasting notes that I will talk about in a second. Over here in Germany, where I live, it used to be that the European distributor was Le Maison de Whisky, Whisky.fr in Paris, France. And now actually Kirsch Import over here in Germany has become the official importer for Germany. So the way I think they do it is they actually send a whole container over to Paris, and then from Paris they send pallets over to Germany of the whiskey from Nikka and so on. Le Maison de Whisky used to be for almost everything Asian and whiskey. Used to be the doorway for European markets. Thank you very much, La Maison de Whisky, for your years and years, even decades, of very faithful serving us in Europe with good whiskeys from all over the world. Other people are following your footsteps and doing it locally or nationally a little bit better, or a little bit more locally. But I think what you've done there for the last, 20, 30 years, awesome, amazing, fantastic. Thank you. So we have Masataka Takasuru. Actually, he built he founded Nikka Whiskey and built then Yoichi. That was 1934, after his training in Scotland. We have very traditional methods here. The wash stills are direct coal fired, so you have a lot of contact with the wort, and so you have to be careful that it doesn't burn. And then the spirit stills are more traditionally with steam jackets around them. Nikka Yoichi is the second Nikka distillery, built 1969, has a more modern approach. But here the Yoichi whiskey, very nice. I have lemon pudding, I have a little bit of vanilla, and I have a lot of malt. Let's see what the notes say on the back of this. Fresh and incredibly herbaceous. Oh, the herbalness. Hints of fruit being soft, bring softness to the first nose. The peat is very discreet. I didn't get any peat. So, enhancing the other aromas, allowed to breathe, rich pastry notes emerge. I did get peat on the nose with my first time with German whiskey. My German, it's a little bit of an ash there. Over here, the no age statement is much sweeter. Much sweeter. Interesting. On the nose is a lot longer. It says here, full-bodied, smooth, a mellow peat softly coats the aromatic palate at first, growing more powerful with time, as smoke, soot, and salty notes transcend the initial nose. The aromas then evolve towards candied citrus, fruit, lemon, orange, black licorice, and spices, nutmeg, and ginger, and opens up with roots and dried twig aromas. Don't have that. Heady and floral, carnation, iris. It grows incredibly complex. It's interesting. They have a more descriptive for the no age statement than they do for the 10-year-old. Now, when you make peated whiskey, or when you take peat, you take malt, you dry the malt with the peat smoke. The peat smoke is then attached to the outside of the grain. When you mash it, first of all, you have to take a hammer mill, you mill it, you grind it down a little bit. If you lose those phenol, you lose a little bit of that aroma of the smoke. You mash it, you ferment it, you distill it, it's even less, and you put it in the barrel. And the longer it's in the barrel, the more the barrel absorbs those smoky, peaty phenolin. And yeah, this has more, even though it's a little bit sweeter in the nose. Interesting. All right, let's try this 10-year-old Yoichi. Kanpai. I picked up from someplace. It's like a Springbank. It's got that funky moment. It's got a little bit of that car garage type of mechanical fluids moment. It's got a little bit of citrus. It's got vanilla. Got even a little bit of nuttiness. Interesting. So the official tasting notes say here, palate smooth, lively. The first palate is fresh and peppery. The mid palate reveals soft and creamy pastry flavors, while the subtle peat slowly fades. I'm sorry, not fails. The finish is long, dry flavors of wetland balance the oaky aromas. That is a good whiskey. Is it 138 euros good? No. Is it a good whiskey? Yes. Would I... Oh, we got to go over here. Would I take two of these in comparison to one of these? Let's find out. All right, a little bit of water. Neutralize the palate here. Kanpai. It's been a while since it was so evident what age can do to a good whiskey. This seems in my mouth sharp. This seems it's a little bit. This is round. This is silky. This is young and wants to box. This is a statesman. This is someone who still hasn't knocked off the horns yet. There's more peat here, of course, than here. Makes sense. There's more of a citrus vibe going on here, but there's also a little bit more of a vanilla, of a new oak moment. It's drier. So, firm, powerful, well-balanced attack, wow, good word, gives equal footings to aromas of peat, smoke, spice. Fresh fruit, melon, kiwi, nuts, almonds, walnut, which it delivers in spades. The mid-palate starts off with chocolate notes, didn't get that, but the peat soon takes the lead once again. The finish is long and silky, extremely mature, not compared to the 10-year-old. It overflows with ripe fruit, pear, mirabella, plum, apple. The peat starts taking on a herbaceous and malty character, while the salty flavors give the finish plenty of depth and coastal freshness. The final nose offers menthol, spice, coriander, dill, and earthy leather chestnut notes. As I said, the notes on this whiskey are so much more interesting and well thought out, and this is just kind of generic almost, but it's still good. Now, the question that I asked before, would I want 2 bottles of this or 1 bottle of this? Imagine I had 138 euros to spend. That's what it costs over here in Europe at the moment, or at least in Germany. Which one would I take? Would I take 2 of these or 1 of these? I would actually go for 1 of these, and that's not often that I say that. I think this is so much more mature, so much complex, so much depth there that I really, really like this. It's very well balanced. It's very nice. Taste, we're going to be here from a C to a C+. We're going to be here from a C+ to B-. Value for money, we're going to be here for a C- D+. Value for money, C- D+. I have problems paying 138 euros for a whiskey that is chill filtered, for a whiskey that has artificial coloring, for a whiskey that has only 45%. Now, it does have an age statement. It's from Japan, but this also is from Japan, and it does everything else this does. The only thing it's missing is the age. So, this is what I would go for. Water is not needed. I did in my German video. It waters it down. It doesn't change it much. It doesn't even activate the phenol in this peaty smoke here. So, I really like this. This is good. So, question of the day. Once again, I asked it once. I'm going to ask it again. What whiskeys do you know, past or present, from Japan that have an age statement? I threw in there Hibiki Harmony 17-year-old. What other whiskeys do you know that had age statements? And maybe some bottles someplace still have them. Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, telling others. I want to dabble a little bit more in Japanese whiskey this year, and this is the 2nd review, and I hope it's very helpful for you. Don't forget to share, tell others about this channel. Thank you very much. WhiskyJason. Bye-bye.